The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the convening of the meeting of the Palestinian resistance in the Russian capital, Moscow. The activities of the 28th edition of the Muscat International Book Fair is concluding today. And travel and tourism companies praised the development of the tourism sector in the Sultanate of Oman. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Dr. Rumen Radev, President of the Republic of Bulgaria, on his country's National Day. The Sultanate of Oman expressed its welcome for the convening of the meeting of Palestinian resistance in the Russian capital, Moscow, last Thursday and Friday, with the participation of all national forces and resistance. The Foreign Ministry in a statement today expressed its welcome for the statement issued by the meeting, affirming the importance of building on the momentum of the positive results to reach the formation of a Palestinian national unity government, ensuring comprehensive representation of all Palestinian components and resistances, and meeting the aspirations of the Palestinian people in this historic and critical juncture. The activities of the 28th edition of the Muscat International Book Fair is concluding today, with the latest statistics indicating that the number of visitors exceeded 130,000 on the sixth day of the fair. This year, 847 publishing houses from 34 countries participated in the fair, with 677 participating directly and 170 others through agencies. The theme of this edition was artificial intelligence, and Al-Dahira Governorate was the honored guest of the fair in this edition, which witnessed the attendance of cultural events and activities. A space was allocated for children and family activities, including a stage for events and workshops, a corner for language learning, a children's museum corner, and a green corner. Several travel and tourism companies praised the development of the tourism sector in the Sultanate of Oman during their participation in the events of the Middle East World Travel Week organized by the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism. They highlighted the castles, forts, traditional markets, and Omani customs that give a distinct tourist character compared to other countries. These elements contribute to attracting tourism to Oman through different seasons. Travel and tourism company owners indicated that Oman is on the verge of significant tourism growth. They emphasized that utilizing innovative communication methods enhances relationship development and expertise exchange in the tourism field. They also highlighted that the meetings hosted by Oman work towards enhancing cooperation opportunities and opening new horizons for the tourism sector with various countries worldwide, considering the existing facilitation and tourism development plans. The Port of Sohar and the Free Zone signed a licensing agreement with the Global Cruise Services Company to become the fourth provider of cruise services at the port on the sidelines of its participation in the International Energy Week in London. This agreement comes within the framework of the Port of Sohar's efforts to enhance its operational capabilities and provide services in the shipping and maritime transport sectors. The agreement aims to provide safe and efficient cargo transportation services, thereby enhancing the position of the Port of Sohar as a major hub for maritime trade in the region. It's worth mentioning that the Port of Sohar and the Free Zone are classified as the fastest growing in their category, with investments exceeding more than 27 billion US dollars. The 14th Muscat Cancer Conference highlighted the latest advancements in cancer treatment. The conference, held over 2 days, gathered experts from GCC countries, Europe, and India to review new drugs with significant impacts and outcomes in cancer treatment. These include a new medication for lung cancer treatment, immunotherapeutic drugs used in gallbladder cancer, and the review of a new treatment program for pancreatic cancer and its effectiveness and response to the treatment. Additionally, workshops will be conducted with international experts to discuss the latest developments in lung cancer treatment. The opening ceremony of the conference was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Saeed bin Harib Al-Limki, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health for Health Affairs. The first North al-Batina Dental Conference was held with the participation of more than 150 participants from all the governmental and private healthcare institutions in the Sultanate of Oman. The conference aims to support healthcare professionals in this field. Scientific conferences are considered one of the most important means of continuous medical education, which dentists need to update their cognitive skills and refine their surgical experiences. During the conference, 9 working papers were discussed on the latest developments in oral and dental health. The discussion session, organized by the Environment Authority in the field of construction waste and the Governorate of Al-Dhahira, discussed the safe and secure ways to get rid of such waste, in addition to highlight their governmental impacts. The session aimed to also highlight the environment issues, in addition to involve various community segments in making proposals and finding solutions for such issues. The Palestinian death toll in the Gaza Strip has risen to 30,228 as the Israeli forces carried out 16 military operations, killing 193 Palestinians and wounding 920 others in the past 24 hours. Some victims remain under the rubble because of heavy bombardment and lack of civil defense and ambulance crews. 71,377 Palestinians have been wounded in the coastal enclave since the outbreak of the conflict in October last year. Warnings during the past weeks from humanitarians about a looming famine in Gaza were confirmed yesterday by the World Health Organization (WHO), who reported about a 10th child officially registered in a hospital as having starved to death. Referring to information from the UNRWA, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, WHO's spokesperson, Christian Lindemje, said that the aid supplies coming in February were only half of what came in January. He added that the supply of fresh water and electricity was cut off immediately after October 7th, and all the lifelines in Gaza have more or less been cut off. According to the UN Aid Coordination Office, OCHA, the current situation has left 1 in 4 people in Gaza facing catastrophic levels of food insecurity and pushed people into desperation, as seen in a deadly incident in northern Gaza on Thursday, in which more than 100 Palestinians were reportedly killed and hundreds injured while seeking life-saving aid from a convoy. Meanwhile, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has condemned the deadly aid delivery incident and called it shocking. He also called for an effective independent investigation. 3 people were killed, 8 wounded, and 6 still missing after a Russian drone crashed into an apartment block in Ukraine's southern port city of Odessa today. A video posted by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky showed an apartment building with a chunk several stories tall ripped out of it and dozens of rescuers scrambling to cut through the sea of rubble on the ground. Odyssa's regional governor said that work was ongoing to clear the rubble and that a man had been pulled out alive, having likely been in the basement at the time of the strike. Drone footage captured the extent of the damage in the Brazilian municipality of Brasilia yesterday after heavy rains caused the river to burst its banks into the town bordering Bolivia. The Brazilian government news agency reported that this is the largest flooding ever recorded in the municipality, as local authorities said that the level of the Acre River reached 15.56 meters, surpassing the historic flood of 2015. Civil Defense stated that the municipality is one of the worst affected by the rise of the Acre River and that 75% of the city has already been affected by the floods. As of Wednesday, more than 13,000 people were reported to have been affected, with 911 people homeless and 1,011 displaced. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the convening of the meeting of the Palestinian resistance in the Russian capital, Moscow. The activities of the 28th edition of the Muscat International Book Fair is concluding today. And travel and tourism companies praise the development of the tourism sector in the Sultanate of Oman. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios. Thank you for watching and have a good night.